Are you aware of your impact when you speak? Do you think about not only what you say, but how, when, and where you say it in every interaction? Welcome to this, the fifth video exploring key ideas within Do Sweat the Small Stuff. And today, we're talking about our speaking. We all have habits and patterns in our speaking. Patterns that are the result of numerous influences over time, including our culture, upbringing, education, beliefs, social norms, past experiences, and much more. Together, they make up a powerful, often invisible force, driving almost all of our micro-interactions, and particularly our speech. But how aware are we of that force that is driving us? To harness the power of our micro-interactions, we first need to understand that force, which requires shining a light on it. In the book, I take you through a speaking assessment to understand the characteristics of your habitual speaking patterns. You'll consider your tone and emphasis, how fast you speak, whether you use long or short sentences, whether you tend to be direct or indirect, formal or informal, and much more. By understanding our patterns, we can consider where that style of speaking is effective and where we might need to adapt. Because this is not about there being a right or a wrong way to communicate, simply more or less effective ways in any given moment. The assessment also looks at what you habitually talk about. For example, do you like small talk or do you get to the point? Do you like to fix things? Are you relentlessly positive or always looking at what's not working? Once again, these aren't right or wrong, but awareness helps you understand when you may need to adjust. There is also a deeper layer in our speaking, which is our expressed beliefs. These are things about ourselves, others, or our circumstances that we subconsciously believe to be true, and they manifest as labels or statements that creep into our speaking and make the belief feel more real. For example, I'm not very creative. I'm quite passive. What's more dangerous is when we use these labels to describe others. He's a bit disorganized. She isn't detail-orientated. The problem with these kinds of labels is that they can become very fixed. So once again, raising our awareness can help challenge and dismantle them. So the early parts of the book help you understand the power of your words, help you understand where you may be having an impact through what you say and how you say it that's perhaps not the impact you intend. The next step is to think about how you want to speak, which is a function of both the kind of leader you want to be and what your situation calls for. The first step in this is to spring clean your language, taking out some of the bad habits that you may have accumulated over time. We all do it. Things like a tendency to jump in and speak too quickly, or overuse of labels, or perhaps unnecessary complexity in our language. Then we explore other elements of your impact through your speaking and how to set yourself up for success. So your timing, when you say things and when you don't within a conversation, and when you have the conversation itself. Your tone, how you manage it, including awareness of your emotions and how they can come out. Your body language and facial expressions, and the location and setup for any given conversation. They all matter. The book is full of exercises and reflective practices to help you identify your patterns, understand the habits that you want to break, and identify new ways of speaking that you want to develop to have available to you. Think of it like adding tools to your speaking toolbox, if you will, so that perhaps you're not always reaching for the hammer. Sometimes you're able to pick up the saw or the screwdriver or the tape measure. That means in any given micro-interaction, the way you communicate is most likely to be effective and appropriate to that particular moment, situation, and person. So that's a very brief dash through some of the things we consider in the speaking chapters of the book. In the next video, we'll explore the other side of it, which is your patterns, habits, and default ways of listening, and how you can become a more effective listener. I'll see you on the next one.